Hi students, welcome to today's class. So basically students, today we are going to discuss about different diversity of living organism found on the earth's surface. Diversity means, what do you mean by diversity? So a question comes to our mind, sir, what is diversity? Diversity is nothing but the different form or different variety of life found on the earth's surface. So different form or a different variety, different type of plants or animals or microorganisms are there. So according to Robert May, one scientist, till now we have identified near about 1.7 to 1.8 millions of organisms, millions of living organisms. It may be plant, it may be animal, or it may be different type of microorganisms. So students, if we will assign a specific scientific term for diversity in living organism, that means diversity, I have told you variety of life form, variety of life form found on the earth's surface. So variety of life form found on the earth's surface. And living organism, you know living organism, what are living organisms? You have studied in standard 9th perhaps. What are the characteristics of living organism? What are the defining characters of living organism? You might have know about your growth, certain characters like growth, reproduction, respond to external stimuli. So these type of living organisms are found in earth's surface, on the earth's surface. So how many types of or how many variety of living organisms are there in the earth's surface? So specifically I can say that the diversity of living organism, in a scientific term, we can say that it is biodiversity. Biodiversity. I have written here that is biodiversity. So if I will say biodiversity, it is nothing but, bio means, what do you mean by bio? Bio means life or living. Already I have told you what are the characteristics of living organism, and diversity means different form of life. The all sort of living organism found on the earth's surface are known as biodiversity or biological diversity. And this term is given by W.S. Ross and popularized by one scientist named Edward Wilson. We will know in detail in higher class. Okay. So in this class, I will mainly focus on these things. What is biodiversity? What is biodiversity? Already I have told you what is biodiversity. Then taxonomy or systematics. Taxonomy or systematics, you might have heard this term, taxonomy. So after that, we will discuss basis of classification and kingdom classification. Different kingdom of classification, you might have known about different kingdom of classification proposed by R.S. Whitaker, the latest one. Okay, so second thing, that is taxonomy or systematic. Sir, question comes to our mind that there are different forms of life on the earth's surface, that is 1.7 to 1.8 million different forms. So individually we cannot explore or know about each organism. So scientists have developed certain criteria so that we can classify these organisms into certain class. That is, later on we can say into certain kingdom or phylum, division, class, order, different type of hierarchy of classification are there. So if we can classify them into certain class or certain kingdom, then easily the interlinking character, so that we can place all the organism in such group. That means we can place certain animals, like we are also animals, tiger, lion, cat. So those animals are placed under kingdom Animalia. Like that, some plants there are different forms of plant, that is herb, shrub, tree or climber, and they are placed under kingdom Plantae. Again, if you will divide, later on we will see there are characters, that is they are flowering or not. They are cryptogams or phanerogams. They are angiosperm or gymnosperm. That we will discuss later. Okay, so the main point is we need to classify them. That is the branch of science in which we will deal, that is the systematic classification of all the living organisms for our convenience, so that we can easily study or explore about these type of living organism, that is known as taxonomy, and that branch is known as taxonomy, in which it is a branch of science in which deals with identification. We will identify what is it is plant or animal or microorganism, identification, classification, and last one, that is your nomenclature. You might have heard the term that is binomial nomenclature, proposed by Carlos Linnaeus. Binomial nomenclature, nomenclature. Okay, that we'll discuss later. So here in taxonomy, all the sorts of organisms, we have to identify them, we have to classify them, and we have to assign them certain names, so that I can that means we are human beings. There is a scientific name, that is Homo sapiens. In case of mango, Mangifera indica. In case of neem tree, we are assigning Agaritica indica. So different type of names are there, and there are certain rules according to ICBN. We can name them International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, and ICZN, International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. We can name them, that is under binomial nomenclature. We will discuss later. So here what we will see, the taxonomy or systematics. Here the organism, we have to identify them, classify them, and name them. After that, so there are different scientists, those who have classified total organisms into different class or into different kingdom, basis upon different type of classification criteria. So first, if you have studied in standard 9, that first the approach was made by Aristotle. You have heard that name Aristotle. You all have heard that name Aristotle, known as father of biology, Aristotle. So Aristotle, he takes some morphological, superficial character. That is, he classified total plant and animal. So plant, again he classified into herb, small one are called herb, then shrub, then larger one are tree. And animal, like those who are having red blood cell, those who are having RBC, red blood cell, and those are without RBC. There is specific term called anemia for this. So Aristotle classified plant and animal, that is plant into herb, shrub, tree, and RBC with RBC, animal without RBC. So it is a morphological character basis or hypothetical character. So it is not quite convenient one. So after that, you heard the name Carlos Linnaeus. He made an approach to classify the total living organism into two kingdoms. One is your plantae, another was your animalia. Depending upon what are the character he took, what are the character of classification, that is their mode of nutrition or mobility, mode of nutrition and mobility. They are mobile or not, mobility. And somewhere it is written that they are having cell wall or not. Okay, so they classified plant having cell wall and animal without cell wall. Later on, one scientist named Ernst Haeckel, it is in your book, Ernst Haeckel, he further lead the classification role and classified total organism into three kingdoms. He included another new kingdom, that is kingdom Protista, and plantae, second, third one is your animalia. So there will be a question, who proposed kingdom Protista or who first introduced kingdom Protista? That is Ernst Haeckel, who proposed first kingdom Protista, in which he placed unicellular organism. After him, another scientist named Copeland, he classified all the organism into four different kingdoms. He introduced a new kingdom, that is kingdom Monera, then Protista, plantae and animalia. In Monera, he placed unicellular organism, but they are prokaryotic. So he placed Monera, Protista, Plantae and Animalia, 4 kingdom. But the recent or most acceptable one is your 5 kingdom classification proposed by R.H. Whittaker. 5 kingdom classification proposed by R.H. Whittaker. 5 kingdom classification proposed by R.H. Whittaker in the year 1969. So what are the basis of classification? How he classified all the organisms into different kingdom? What is his criteria of classification? The criteria are cell type, whether the organism is having prokaryotic type of cell or eukaryotic type of cell. Prokaryotic or eukaryotic type of cell. Prokaryotic or eukaryotic. You know prokaryon or eukaryon. Prokaryon means primitive type of nucleus. Eukaryon means the advanced type. Those who are enclosed within a membrane bound organelle, or membrane bound organelles are present in case of eukaryotic organism. Then cell organization. Cell organization means either they are unicellular or multicellular. They are multicellular or unicellular. So another criteria, that is nucleus is present or not. Nucleus is present or not. It is from your prokaryotic or eukaryotic. You can write. Then mode of nutrition. What is their mode of nutrition? How they acquire their food? Mode of nutrition, you know. Either they are autotrophs or heterotrophs. They can synthesize their own food or they cannot synthesize their own food. They are heterotrophs. That means they depend upon other organisms. We know different mode of, that is holozoic mode of nutrition, parasitic, heterotrophic, in heterotrophic, parasitic, subprocaritic, symbiotic, different mode of nutrition are there. And their role in the ecological role. Either they are producer, either they produce energy like plant, or they are consumer like animal, their role, or they are decomposer, they decompose in the environment. What is their role in the environment? And another important aspect, that is last one, that is phylogenetic relationship. Phylogenetic relationship, students, what do you mean by phylogenetic? That means their evolutionary trend, how they have evolved. That means when we will go detail in 5 kingdom classification, you will see different class or different kingdom are placed like such a way that unicellular, prokaryotic, then after that unicellular, eukaryotic, after that kingdom fungi, that is your unicellular and multicellular eukaryotic, then Plantae and Animalia. So like their evolution is there. So these are the different aspects in which he classified all the organism into 5 kingdom classification. So the 5 kingdoms, you know, kingdom Monera, which include unicellular prokaryotes, and kingdom Protista, which includes unicellular eukaryotes. Then kingdom fungi, which include unicellular, that is one member yeast, and all are multicellular eukaryotes. Then Plantae and Animalia, both are your multicellular, they are producer, and last one here consumer. So these are 5 kingdoms. So another kingdom classification also is there, that is 6th kingdom classification proposed by Carl Woese. That we'll discuss later on. I hope you have understood that topic. So thank you.